to learn what you know. All right. Next up, it is hot happenings. Okay, kind of like what's going on in the world of style. Some really kind of more specific discussions here, and I wanted to open up by talking about quality and asking you and for you thoughtfully, like what is quality to you? What does that mean? What does that feel like? Um, for me, when I think about quality, and this is in the lens of wardrobe, quality is really pieces that are made with higher standards in terms of the textile, the fabric, in terms of the craftsmanship, in terms of the thought in the design. And then I would say, in terms of time, like slow. And when I mean slow, I'm not talking about like, you know, my Bach my dress that, that took 3 months to deliver. But you know what? That was quality. So maybe not as long as 3 months, but something that just takes a considerable amount of time. Like, for instance, I know a couple seasons ago when I had the collection for spring summer for Lafayette 148, and we were doing that trunk show here, um, one of the pieces, oh my God, if you look through my Instagram, right, and don't forget to, like, which side is it? This side. Follow me on Instagram. But there's some videos that have like this one crochet piece from Lafayette, and it took like 80 hours to make, or it was like 84 hours, something each one. Okay, that is quality. When I say slow, I'm saying that it does take a bit of time. It's not fast fashion. It's not, being just run through machines and, like a widget or something, and then just thrown off and boxed up and put on hangers and put in the store, right? There's a lot of thought, expertise, craftsmanship, anything. And if you apply that honestly to like anything, it doesn't even have to be a product. It can be a service. Is something that I pride myself on, is really great service to my clients. That is a form of quality, right? I have a high bar. I try to deliver that high bar consistently, which keeps my clients coming back, right? But when it comes to clothes, you want quality, because quality turns into a piece that then you will have for a lifetime with great care. Okay. You got to see a close up of the jacket that I'm wearing today. This Louis Vuitton jacket right here. I got, it was it was when I first moved to Dallas. It was like 5 years ago. And it looks like, it's not a piece that I wear every day, that's for sure, but it looks brand new. It looks like I just got it, right? And it's because it's quality and it has all of those qualities that I spelled out. But I thought it would be fun to first, let's define what quality is. So I pull it up in the, the online dictionary. But I'm also going to share with you some quotes from designers on how they define quality. All right. So the definition of quality, when it's used as an adjective, is of or having superior quality, right? Producing or providing products or services of high quality or merit. It's funny when like dictionaries use the same word to define itself. I picked that up. When it's of or occupying high social status, like a quality family, as noted here, or it's marked by a concentrated expenditure of involvement, concern, or commitment. This is what I'm talking about right here. The time, the energy, the knowledge that is being poured into. When you have that level of involvement, right? Concern, commitment, it ends up being a quality product. So I really want you to test what you own with your clothes, your shoes, your belts. I want you to test what you own maybe against this definition, to ask yourself honestly, like, do I have quality pieces or do I have pretty shitty pieces? You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to be walking around in pieces that are just not great, right? Because they don't make you great. We want quality. All right. So now let's look at what some designers, how they define it. So Matthew Williams, he's the founder of 1017, ALYX9SM. You're probably like, what the heck is that? It's a sportswear brand. Um, Higher, like very fashion, athletic clothing, really cool stuff. But Matthew defines it as honesty and time. I like that. Honesty, right? You're only pouring the truth into what you're making. Your ends from a garment standpoint, you're pouring in that truth, that honesty. That's going to result in a really great product, right? So I really like that quote. Next, we've got Tommy. Good old Tommy Hilfiger. Yes, he's still around doing things. Okay, so he defines quality as quality in anything and everything we do should be the ultimate standard. It's it's the essence of excellence and my constant North Star. I like that. And I pretty much kind of live in that same mantra. North Star, always pointing toward quality. I know sometimes I may get on my girls' nerves when I'm like picky. I want things a certain way, but it's for a reason, because it matters. And I think other people see that and value that, right? And when you're in that space, then you also really take pride when you own pieces like that. You want to take care of it, right? You want to love it. You want to show it with ultimate care, right? It all comes together. It all comes together, particularly when we're thinking about the wardrobe. Let's see. Wes Gordon, who is the creative director of Carolina Herrera, says to me, quality is something made with love and purpose, right? I echoed that before. You got to have love that goes into it, right? If you don't, it's going to be cheap. It's going to be nasty. We don't want that. We don't want that. And the final quote that I'll share about quality is from Iris van Herpen. She is a Dutch designer. And she says, attention, passion. I think ultimately it's about the love that you put into something. I think that's the only way to really achieve quality. Time, attention, passion, love, human qualities. I like what she did at the end, that human aspect of it, right? With clothing, these clothes aren't making themselves, right? Someone has touched them, right? Um, but we need to kind of think about it in terms of what we do and how we move in this world, in doing everything from a standpoint of us being our best. It's excellence. That's really what it comes down to. But she pulled it all together: time, attention, passion, and love. And I think you'll see that the theme that's come across, not only from what I said, but from what other these designers too: time. Let's slow things down a bit, right? Let's not rush the process, because when it's something is done really, really quickly, a lot of times it doesn't end up being what you want it to be. And who wants to be disappointed, right? So I just challenge you to think about quality in, not only your garments, but how you move and walk through life, how you interact with people, how you treat people. It's all so, so, so important. All right. Okay, so for our next aught happening, let's see what else I got going on for you this week. Oh, Chanel, Chanel. So this Friday, I think it's this Friday. I don't even know. These weeks and days are just going by so fast. I can't keep up. I think it's like December 7th, 8th, or 9th. I really think it's this Friday. Let me look. If I look at my calendar, it may be the 9th. I don't remember what day it is, but sometime between not Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday of this week, Chanel is going to be showcasing their Metier collection. And it will be in Manchester, which is interesting because it's usually in Paris. So I'm really curious to see like what they have planned with that. But for those of you that are wondering what Metier means, it means the art profession, and métier in French means hands. So it's often called the little hands that are making all of the art. And what it does is what they do, it's one of the collections where they really do, I would say, their most avant garde. um, pieces. So Chanel, they have, I think they have, I think they do, is it six collections a year, if memory serves me? I think they do about six collections. Or is it eight? Is it two per quarter? They do more than your normal four. But then outside of that, they have this Metier d'Art. Oops, somebody's at the front door. I forgot to mute my little Alex A. But look, we're working in real time here. We have deliveries of packages with clothes coming and going like all the time. So it is what it is. But anyway, the art professions, what it is that Chanel has specific houses that offer support in very specialized areas that come together, and not only for the Metier d'Art collection, but also their normal collections, right? So, what it is they have these little ateliers that specialize in different areas. So, let me check my notes here. So, we have right now, but there's a house that does their floral ornaments where the petals that you see on like the Chanel suits or dresses, hats, scarves, what have you, all those petals are handmade. Okay. They have a milliner. So someone that specializes in the hats, right? So they've got an atelier for Metier d'Art that does this. Les Sages is their tweed maker. Okay. So all that, Chanel, classic Chanel is all about that tweed suit, that jacket, that little crop jacket, and that skirt moment. All that tweed, the tweed is being handmade on the looms, right? It's very, very detailed. They have an embroidery atelier. They've got a goldsmithing atelier. So that's the one that does the hardware sculpting. So like buttons and little like the earrings and things that we see. Hardware that goes on the outfits, all of that. And then they also have an atelier that's concentrated directly on pleating. Because pleating is a whole process, okay? So I want to show you a little bit about the Metier d'Art show. So let's share my screen again. Here we go. Okay. And let me see if I can move myself a little bit further over to not block the article. Um, but just showing you about just the amount of work that goes in. Oh, okay, look, it says December 7th. All right, I was right the first time. It's the 7th. So that is this Thursday. So I'm going to try to catch that show. I will definitely be watching it after the fact. So tune in for next week, because if I do have access to the video, I will likely show some screenshots of it with you. But like, just look at the detail work that goes into creating all these pieces. I mean, this is some hardware going onto the lace, right? Let me show you some other pictures here. This is the showroom. This is their Atelier Montex. Um, so this is actually looking at archives from years past for Chanel designs. And and then the creative director, her name is Virginie Viard. She goes around to, of course, I mean, she's a creative director, so she has a hand and provides direction for all of these ateliers on, what they should be doing, right, to really bring these looks together. But look at this beautiful piece right here. That looks like it's something that will be put onto a dress or stitch into a suit. This kind of, it's almost like a brooch, but not really. But look at the beading, like all of that is just it's so intricate. Absolutely love it. And then there's a shot down here. Again, this is all done by hand. So this is Lesage, this is the tweed maker. So look, we're seeing the classic Chanel tweed here, right? This is the design. So, they're taking, I mean, all of these are separate pieces. Like if you look, so right here is where you see it's woven. Hopefully you can see my mouse. Um, Up here at the top half of the picture is there where you see it's all separated. So all of this is woven together by hand. Look, it says here, her hands flitter across the loom, flipping levers as she shuttles threads back and forth, right? This is like painstaking work right here. And here's another shot of tweed here, kind of on the loom being constructed. And all this ends up in the fabrics, that come together to make these beautiful pieces. So I just wanted to show you a little highlight about what really truly goes on in, the making of these beautiful pieces. And, sometimes people kind of wonder, well, gosh, these pieces are, a couple few $1,000s a piece. But hopefully you getting that glimpse of what I showed you from the atelier standpoint, there's a reason for it. These are artists working in their best form, and they're creating beautiful pieces again and again and again and again. But they're taking their time, they're using the best quality, they're getting the best materials from the best mills, and all of it is pulled together. And one aspect that was really cool in that article was that the different houses for Chanel, for the Metier d'Art, they were saying that they all kind of contribute their piece, but it's not until the actual runway show that they actually see where it all comes together. So they don't even know what the final look is until they see the final look as it's walking, as it's coming down the runway. So I'm really excited for the upcoming show that's going to be happening later this week. And again, if I'm able to get my hands on some stills, I will be showing it in next week's happening show here live on YouTube. All right, so we got our Chanel, and I want to come back to um, Iris Van Herpen. So she's the one that had the quote. Um, Wait a minute, where did my little hot happening go? Because I'm still talking about hot happening. Here we go, Iris. She was the one that had the quote that brought together quality, meaning, passion, love, time, commitment, all that good stuff. She's a new designer to me. I've heard of her before, but I hadn't really taken the time to get to know her. But I did a little bit of research because when she said that quote, I was like, she really captured it. I was like, I need to do a little bit of research to find out a little bit more about her. And I just wanted to introduce and share her with you. So let me get my screen back up, and we're going to show. There we go. It's just loading up here. But I wanted to share her with you because she is an artist in its like truest form. Oh, the page is unresponsive. All right, let me exit this other page and see if it helps. Because I'm live, the hamster in the wheel is just going slow, right? But here we go. Okay, now we are cooking, guys. All right. So this article is from WWD, and it is titled "Iris Van Herpen Explores the Outer Reaches of Fashion Possibilities." So what she does, and why I'm like enthralled with her, and I'm like, okay, I need to like get some of her books because she has like coffee table books. This woman is a true artist. She is obsessed with textiles, with fabric. She uses the most unconventional fabrics to get these looks that she really, really wants, right? Um, so let me scroll down here and just show you, she's doing 3D printing with silicone, right? She's doing laser cutting, she's doing water jet cutting, all this stuff alongside traditional couture techniques like the pleating. Like I was saying, Chanel has its own atelier just for pleating and draping, embroidery, all of that. So a lot of her techniques they're saying here are on display at Musée des Arts Décoratifs in Paris, um, where it's on show now until spring of next year. So if you happen to be traveling to Paris, you want to check it out because I found that her designs are, again, it's more works of art. She's not really doing kind of ready to wear. Um, but her work is like amazing. So she's working with all these really like cool materials that you just wouldn't normally. This isn't loading here, but you wouldn't normally see. I'm going to scroll back up because I want to show you. Hopefully, the gallery will open up for us, but show you some of her exquisite work. We can see like a little bit of it here, um, but perhaps, yeah, okay. We can see that here. Let me move some of these things around a little bit. So here it looks like one of her designers. I mean, he's really, really getting all of these layers in for this three-dimensional effect. That's absolutely beautiful. And look at this. So they're actually pouring the looks like ink into the silicone because I guess this is going to be a final piece. It looks like they're kind of carving things out on the form, the body form. Wow, look at that. I mean, she looks like a swan. That's a great moment. The artistry and the ability to just conceptualize this is unbelievable. I think this is a gorgeous piece right here. This is why this is in a museum, right? I mean, it has it's still, but it has movement just from the way it's bent and turned and curved and the way it just cascades around her neck, her breastbone going into her torso. Absolutely beautiful. So then here it is again from another vantage point as they're making it. I just man, I need to see this up front. I would go to Paris just to see this. And here's some kind of lace and embroidery work going together too. They've got some hand tweezers there. It's very, very intricate work. I love this. And here's that piece that we saw in the article, like angel wings. Wow. I wonder what the front of that looks like. And here's this. So this you can see is some type of acrylic. Um, it's standing up on its own, very textured, but it's three-dimensional. And there she is, Iris van Herpen. Again, Dutch. She totally looks like a Dutch designer. Like, look at that outfit. Dutch designers like have like a certain aesthetic. They definitely do. And I'm not surprised that this is her, but